Hello, I'm Chrissy Seaton. Noahides often come under fire because of our belief in the Torah of God and our practices, and meaning the 7 Noahide commandments. And responding to these verbal attacks, I guess, is a little bit like giving a match to an arsonist. So, the temptation to defend or counter-attack some of these comments is and false claims. It does enter our mind at times, and it's hard sometimes to resist the temptation to respond. But I'll just give you a few examples. For instance, my video channel, my Noahide family that you're watching now, I have a comment section, and in that comment section it has to be approved by me before those comments are published. Can you see here the old bullfrog outside? I hope that's a sign of rain coming soon. So I view all the comments before they're published, and while the majority of them are very positive comments and there's not an issue with them and they become published, but some of them are just sickening filth. There's no other word or explanation for it. And so obviously they don't get published, they go straight in the trash bin. I tend to think of it a little bit like I'm waving a magic wand, it's trash. And sometimes other comments I do not publish only because they may not be appropriate to publish those comments with respect to the privacy of the person making that comment. So I may think that, that person may not particularly want me to publish that. So I do hold some back. However, moving on, with social media, well, it's rife with all manner of opinions over what type of washing up detergent we should use to, what sort of car we should drive. And most of them are just opinions or someone's personal experience. So there is a lot of misinformation out there going around, particularly about the 7 Noahide laws, the beliefs and the practices. And look, some of those comments are quite hurtful, and again, you're tempted to respond, but stop and think that the people making those comments, it's almost arrogance and at times ignorance. In other words, they don't have a clue about what they're talking about. Great Aussie wave at the moment. There's a fly inside. So, first of all, is it really worth responding to? Usually not. And I'll tell you why. Once you respond to someone who has an agenda and a whole heap of false information, you're just sometimes pandering to their ego. So I say, don't give your attacker or the arrogant commenter or whatever, don't give them any oxygen. Just don't give them oxygen, because they're like arsonists. They have a need to vent. They want fury, they want flame, they want fire, and that's all to fuel their agenda. So your response gives them a match, an oxygen to continue that fire. So my advice is ignore these people. Just ignore them, and you know why? Because that snuffs out their flame. It disappoints them. There's no match. You're not giving them a match, so there can't be any fire. So often by just responding, you're just fanning those flames, and then they respond and you respond again, and on it goes, and it becomes just this fly. It becomes a slanging match. And that's no good for anybody. So although it may be tempting, my sincere advice is that you just take the dignified approach and don't respond, just ignore it. Put it in the trash bin, or if it's particularly insightful towards violence or anti-Semitism, terrorism, something like that, then you really need to report it. And there are ways on social media and on video comments that you can report those people. Now, I have done that once on my video channel and it was successful, and that actual video was removed. So it is possible to do that when people are just talking trash about the Noahide laws, etc. So just in passing, I would say that don't lower yourself to their level. They're not worth it. They're not worth your time or effort. And their beliefs and their misinformation and criticism is no concern to you. Our concern is following the Torah of God and the 7 Noahide commandments. We don't go out and criticise other people's faith or beliefs or practices, so there is no need for us to accept people doing that to us. Just ignore them. And like I said, just wave your wand and they're gone, and you've got a nice feeling afterwards. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment. That's perfectly fine. And just a reminder also that each Thursday, 2 p.m. Israel time, there is a live program called Power of Prayer, and that's hosted by Devorah Sinton and myself. At the moment, there's a slight glitch with the sound, so I can't actually speak, but the system is being upgraded and that should be done very soon. So please tune into that. It is recorded, so you can watch it afterwards, after the live show has finished. So just remember, regarding unwanted comments and annoying comments, that responding to verbal vomit is like giving a match to an arsonist. Please take care and God bless.